Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show from the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, where we're going to be tasting 3 samples from our buddy James Szuch. My name is Steve Akeley, joined by Darren McCroy and Kevin Brennan. What's going on, guys?
Not a whole lot.
Living the dream.
Brennan, you've never been on a podcast here before, have you?
I have not been on a podcast here before. My dad's been on a couple, but I haven't been on one yet.
So your dad famously doesn't do good when he's on the microphone. I mean, he can talk all day. He's a fun guy, and then he always screws something up. Do you feel nervous?
I'm good. I'm good.
You feel like you're going to be able to do this, no problem?
Yeah,
You're not going to call it the Bourbon Kaylee?
No, I'm not going to call it the Bourbon Cat Daily. Don't worry.
Yeah, your dad always does something strange. Or that one time when I answered this heartfelt question, and then like a minute later he's asked me the exact same question on the podcast.
It happens.
It happens. It does. So, very cool. So yes, you are Cop Chris' son,
yes.
And that is very cool. And you have a sister that is also a police officer as well.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So I guess if she ever comes in, what's her first name? I don't even know. I've never met her.
Brooke.
So Cop Brooke.
Yes.
That's what we know our officers as on the show and then on social media, because being a police officer, you want to maintain your privacy.
Yes.
So we try. You don't live in a shell, but at the same time, you don't need to throw everything out there either.
Yeah.
So that's how, out of respect, and that's just a respect thing that we do. That's what we call Cop Chris, Cop Brennan, that type of thing. So, or Cop Ken. You've heard a lot of our cop buddies here. So very cool. Darren, you said there's something you wanted to talk about. What is that?
So, hypothetically, if you were a burglar, but you weren't in the game to steal stuff, you were just in the game to break into someone's house and change something annoying, just to annoy them, what would you be changing in someone's house?
I would say I'd probably have to change my underwear when they caught me in there and they confronted me with a gun. This is a terrible idea. I don't think we want to encourage this behavior at all.
No, it's an awful idea.
Come up with this one?
I heard it on the radio one morning. They were talking about it.
Now, you know who used to do this was the Manson gang. When they were getting learning how to properly burglarize. Well, that was well said by me. And of course, ultimately leads to what they ultimately did, which was obviously terrible. But the thing that they'd like to do is they'd like to go on these things, and Charlie taught them how to get into a home, and then they would mess with things. They'd move around furniture and stuff like that. Probably did some stealing as well, grabbed what they could in terms of small stuff. But their idea was not to get caught, but to learn how to become a criminal. And they were famous for breaking into the local homes and stuff like that. And that sounds like something that you're looking to do now.
Okay, here, how about this? You're not breaking in. We're going to take that part out of it.
Okay.
And if you're just like at a buddy's house and you want to change one thing to mess with them, what are you changing?
All right, okay. So this is better. It's a friend, and you're just a practical joke versus
You're
going into a stranger's home. Yes. Yeah. Okay, what would be a good one? I'll have to think about this for a second.
For a good one for Darren, just go in his house and then look at his bourbon collection, start moving bottles around.
Do you think I know where everything is?
Yeah. What would be something good to do?
I think it would be really entertaining to take one shoe and put it somewhere completely different. And so they're walking around looking for their shoes, because that's like one of the last things.
So one shoe out of all their pairs of shoes?
Yes, one shoe.
So, and if you hide it too well, you could potentially see them out about town with two different shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like because everyone has lawn mowing shoes. You take one lawn mowing shoe,
Right.
and you go hide it. You go put it back inside or somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Have you ever worn the two different shoes accidentally?
Oh yeah.
I did it too one time, and I tell you what, it was two totally different types of shoes. It was back when I had a corporate job. I had to get up real early one day before my wife, so in the cover of darkness, I had to get ready and all that. And they were slip-on shoes because I had to wear suits and stuff like that. But it was like, a brown shoe with like a buckle, and then like a black shoe with a tassel. Nothing matched at all, and I looked like an idiot. And I go into work. And then I don't even realize it for a while, but then I look down and I see I've got two different shoes on, and I had to go tell someone. So I told a guy, and he's like, "You did this on purpose. There's no way this happened accidentally. You just wanted to leave." I'm like, "No, it was just an accident." Yeah.
I can actually one up that. I one time was in a tent. It was early in the morning, and
Good start.
You wear two different shoes coming out of a tent. How many pairs of shoes do you take?
I took two pairs of boots. So I took like my classic cowboy boots and my hiking boots.
Yeah.
And so I had one that was a pull-on, like pulled on my boot, and then one that was a tied boot. And I didn't think anything wrong with it until I got to the trail that morning because I was trying to go see the sunrise. And
You
so
accidentally wore a tie shoe and a
slip-on.
pull.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was alcohol involved in this?
The night before, definitely, and so maybe.
He woke
Right.
up with a little brain fog and said, "Here,
Yeah.
let me put these boots on." And I put the wrong ones on.
Yeah. The follow-up question is, was there shorts involved?
No, I was wearing jeans.
Because you famously, your cowboy boots were going to be you brought those in case you're going to be wearing shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
'Cause you wear shorts and cowboy boots.
But I didn't need that this time. I meant to wear my other boots.
Okay. Brennan, how would you mess with someone?
That's a good question. I think it's kind of just like shifting things very minimally every time you're at that person's house, and then see if they notice. Like,
Right.
think of how long. Like, you just shift something on the wall, on like a shelf or something, and see how long it takes them to notice it. So, like, maybe they have like a knickknack on the shelf, and you just shift it over a little bit every single time you're there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of furniture in my house that if it wasn't, like, it's all in the same spot, so I don't pay attention where I'm walking. If someone moved it like 8 inches, I might not notice it, but I'd probably kick it.
Yeah.
Right.
I could see
Stub
that
your
happen.
toes.
That's true. I think what I would do, I would make it very simple. It's quick and easy to do. I verified this through many years of college and whatnot. That if you take the sprayer that's on the kitchen sink, and you just put a rubber band around it, so it's fully on, and then when they turn the sink, you point it where it's going to hit, and you never notice it. It's not like, oh yeah, well, it's easy to see.
Nope.
You never are looking at that thing when you turn it on,
Nope.
and it gets you every single time. So that's what I would do. If I just wanted to mess with someone, that would be the one thing I would do. So,
That's good.
Yeah. I will not be going into a stranger's home to do that, though.
No.
No, not breaking in there.
The record show, yes. Yeah, so there you go. Darren, nice stuff. Nice job. So what we're going to do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be trying 3 samples that our buddy James dropped off. He just happened to be coming through town, and he dropped off 3 samples. We thought, you know what? Let's not let him sit around. Let's try them. Let's do a show when we do it. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Matt Rainey, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily. One day when I grow up, I'm going to grow a big boy beard, just like Colonel Steve.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Akeley, Cop Brennan, and Darren, and we are here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar, and we're getting to try 3 different offerings that our friend James brought in. What do we got here, Darren? What's going to be the first one?
First one will be the Yellowstone Toasted Barrel.
Okay. Okay. This one, which is funny, James brings us in today. I had never tried it. I wanted to try it. I love Yellowstone. I actually tried it yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
And Darren, you're the one that brought it in. Which
it's part of Thirsty Thursday.
I immediately remembered that you're the one that brought that in, and I told James, I just tried this from Darren's, right? Is that
yeah, immediately.
That's how that went down?
That's what I heard. I heard that. I don't know.
All right, let's see this one. Let's officially taste it, though, for the record here, and then we'll share some notes here. Here we go. Cheers, guys. I mean...
That is just toasted marshmallows all day long.
That's good. That's good whiskey. I mean, it's everything that you want from Yellowstone. Very, very nice. It drinks easy. It's sweet. It does have kind of that little toasted notes to it. So, yeah, I like it.
And it holds on really good for 100 proof.
Yeah, it does. For 100 proof, that does hang in there a while. And what ends up being the taste that just sticks with you is a marshmallow taste. So, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. I like that one. It's definitely something I would want a bottle of if I see it. I would like to pick up a bottle of that for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. What's our next one? Because our next one is not even a brand I've heard of before. Have you?
Nope, never have heard of it. So this is W.H. McBrayer, maybe? Batch 3. And this is coming in at just over 102 proof.
Okay, 102 proof, W.H. McBrayer. All right, let's see what we got here. On the nose, I mean, what do you think that is? Kind of almost a little light maple syrup, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting. Okay. Not a bad start. Let's taste it.
That maple translates onto the palate, too.
Yeah.
The nose does carry over to the palate.
It's nice. It doesn't linger as long as the Yellowstone did, which is a couple proof points lower, but it's solid. I mean, you definitely could drink that. It seems like you could make some nice cocktails with it too.
Yeah.
It seems like it's good. So yeah, a little maple syrup and even a little, I don't know, kind of peanut brittle-ish too on there. So
yeah,
peanut
brittle. I like that one.
All right, we got one more. What else do we have here?
We have a Heaven Door single barrel. It's barrel 22640. In case that's important to you.
Okay,
go find yours today. And this is coming in at 125, just over 125.
125. Okay, we don't know anything else, right?
No. Nope.
I'm assuming it's Tennessee whiskey. I mean, they're getting more into the bourbon now, but that hasn't really been their focus, especially on their single barrels up to this point. I saw one was released recently, but we'll see. I think obviously more that's going to be. They're going to be a Kentucky bourbon distillery moving forward. But again, when you're talking about this business, it usually takes a little time for that to happen. So let's taste this final one. Cheers, guys. That's kind of like a banana split.
Yeah.
So that's
very banana.
Yeah. And that sticks around like in the center of my palate. It's still just going. It's like still intensifying even. Yeah.
For dear life.
Yeah. So that one's gonna that finish will last a long time. So
that one's a good one.
Yeah. Well, we live in that high proof, so that's definitely got it, and it's good. I mean. Yeah, it's also solid. So these are 3 solid choices.
Yes, they are.
James did a good job of curating a nice little samples for us, and we certainly appreciate that. We like him coming into. He lives in Nashville. He was going to Iowa for a bike ride, and stopped in to see us on the way there. So it was a quick visit, but it was great to see him. So
if I was going to do a bike ride across Iowa, I would need more whiskey than he bought. that is,
You would need a lot more.
oh
than
my
you
God,
got,
yeah,
so.
that's crazy to me. Those people who do the bike stuff, I don't know how they do it. I decided at one point I got a bike. I got a deal on a bike, and I thought I'm going to be a bike guy. So no, this was when
I
I
can
was.
just see you in the spandex.
Yeah, oh yeah. I had spandex, the whole thing. I was like, I got to get into this. I got the spandex, and I lived in a condo. This was after college, but before getting married or anything like that. So I graduated college in 1990. I got married in October of '92. So this was the interim. I don't know exactly when that was, but somewhere in between there. And the wife used to live, I don't know, 3 miles away or something like that. But it was all very hilly, very hilly. But it doesn't matter. I'm a bike guy. At the time, I'm in my early 20s and not necessarily in great shape or anything. I've always been a big guy, but I thought, I've got the proper bike for it. I've got the spandex. I'm a bike guy. Let's put on some cool sunglasses and go. I get like halfway there up these hills, and I can't do it anymore. I hop off the bike. I'm walking the bike, and then it's like blazing summertime. I can't even walk anymore at this point. I sit down in someone's yard. I don't even care if I'm trespassing anything like that. I couldn't give a shit. If they came out, I would have just said, call an ambulance then. I can't move right now. So,
I'm having heat stroke.
Exactly. This was before cell phones or anything like that. So it wasn't like, 92 or 91 or whatever it was. I mean, cell phones might have existed. I didn't have one. I should definitely say that. So I had to just wait it out. And so that quick little 3-mile bike trip between the two places ended up taking several hours because then I had to mostly walk until I got to flat. And then, of course, I get to my girlfriend's house, who's not my wife now, but at that time just a girlfriend. And of course, you ride the last little bit. So, so you come pulling in. And then when I hung out at her house, and then when it was ready to leave, I'm like, I don't feel like riding home. If you don't mind, would you give me a ride? So yeah. So we threw my bike in the back of her car, rode it home, and I never rode that bike again.
Yeah. And then after that day, Steve was never bike guy again.
No, I was never bike guy. Got rid of the spandex. The bike hung in my garage for years and years and years. Probably, I don't know how many years, but then I finally sold it like a garage sale for like $10 or something.
So, in the days before cell phones, because both me and Cop Brennan don't understand this life.
Right.
If you had like an emergency on the side of the road, would you just have to go knock on someone's door and ask to make a phone call?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works.
I don't like that.
No.
That feels weird to me.
No, it's not fun.
There used to be laws, and I think they still exist, that like if you had an emergency, you could break into someone's house pretty much and make a phone call if you had to.
If
because
you had
were
to.
having an emergency,
that's
you
nice.
would not be charged with breaking into their house.
Let's not. We don't know where that stands these days. So don't try that either. This is not legal advice, but yeah. So that's certainly something to consider as well. So yeah, don't do that. As Jim's walking by, hey Jim, what's going on, man?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's all right. That's right. He's busy working, so he's next door working on the speakeasy today. So, well, very, very good stuff. I think we got to try 3 fun samples, so we enjoyed them. So, yeah, thank you to James for bringing those in. On that note, we'll wrap this thing up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Brennan, we'll start with you. Where can people find you? Just
Right
here at the
here
shop?
at the tasting bar at the ABV Barrel Shop.
You've been here 5 days in a row.
This is
We're
day
expecting
number
to see
5
you
in a
every
row.
day now.
Yeah.
That might be our longest streak ever. I don't know if we've ever kept track of those things, but if someone coming in 5 days in a row, I don't think that's a normal thing. So.
I've done 5, but it was not.
You did? No.
Oh, just wait one up me, man.
It was,
When would you ever have come in? I'm not talking about when you're working.
King.
That doesn't count, buddy.
But when we had the bottle share, there was an event on Saturday. There was an event on Friday. I came in on Monday for fun, and then there was the speakeasy opening thing was on a Tuesday.
Oh,
So
maybe.
Perhaps.
potentially,
Maybe.
but we don't
There's
have
a chance.
records. Our
At that-
records don't go back that
our
far, so we
records-
can say he's the first.
He's the first. Yeah, that's as far back as our records go. So, yeah. All right. How about you, Darren? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures. Also, 5 days a week at the ABV Barrel Shop now.
Yeah. That again, he's keeping track of a streak. He's going to have a streak of I don't know how many days. We'll have to look at that when we go to Key West because we know it's a week. But then you have days that you're working leading up to that. Who knows?
Is there
how
a
many days?
Thursday beforehand that I'm going to be here anyway?
Right. This could be the longest streak of anybody. So we'll see. We'll see. On that note, you can find me at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got that company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, our blog, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop. You can try before you buy. You like the policy, don't you, Brennan?
I do. It's a good policy.
Try before you buy. Check it out. And come by and see us. If you're in St. Louis area, if you're not and you just want to follow what's going along, sign up for email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com. Please give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast. It helps new people find the show, which is pretty darn important to us. And if you want to get involved, go over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. On that note, we'll wrap this one up and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.